Three lifelong friends, 6 trusty balls, and endless NFL takes. Welcome to Three Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast. Welcome to episode 21 of Three Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast. The first preseason game is this week. Football is in the air, and that means fantasy football. Today we're going to be talking about fantasy football. We're going to rank our top 10 fantasy quarterbacks, and this is all PPR, even though it's not necessarily a thing for quarterbacks, but all of our rankings for fantasy football will be PPR rankings. And to get us started, instead of doing a game today, I have a question for you guys. I think I know the answer that Avery's going to give me, I think, but I could be wrong. I just don't know what Will's going to give me here.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
The question I have for you guys is, who is your favorite NFL player?
Active or all-time?
Active.
Active NFL player. Oh.
I'm surprised Avery's thinking about it as much as he is.
I'm trying to narrow it down. I'm actually curious to think who you think it is.
Do you want me to tell you?
No. Just on our system. I'll say it and then you tell me if it was.
Okay.
I trust you.
I could be wrong. That's who I think it is.
Will, do you have yours?
No. I was not expecting. You could have asked any question on earth, and I would have had an answer. Probably.
You don't have a favorite NFL player?
I truly don't think I do. It was Tyron Smith, but he recently retired. I haven't found a new lineman to fall in love with.
You know, this would have been a good game to find out, like, your top, 20 favorite. Like, just give me your top 20, just randomly, any order, doesn't matter, and then narrow it down, go list by list to narrow down and see
who's your favorite, yeah.
Who's your all-time favorite. But I guess I'll go. I want to preface this by saying I've always been a fan of players and not necessarily teams when it comes to professional ball. I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite, or at least one that I knew I had before right now. But I will say the player I am most excited to watch this next season is Bo Nix.
That's who I thought it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that's probably who it is.
Yeah.
But
I want to know if you guys know who my favorite player is.
Is he a Cowboy?
At one point in time. Oh, okay. All right.
My second favorite.
I was about to go. It just went out the window.
My second favorite player is a Cowboy, and it is CeeDee Lamb.
It's got to be CeeDee Lamb, okay? I was going to say, at one point in time, I would have said Dez Bryant. I truly think my all-time favorite player that I've watched play, and I'm going to get hate for this, and I don't care, is Tony Romo.
He's not an active player.
I know. I said all-time. My all-time favorite, that I've seen play. Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, there are better players than him that were playing at the same time.
Yeah, we're just talking about favorite.
Yeah. But my favorite that I've ever watched play is Tony Romo. And I understand that I'm a Dallas homer and there's a serious bias here. I just loved watching him play football. He was very good. I think he's the most underappreciated quarterback of Dallas's history, if not most underappreciated player of the 2000s, 2010s. He got such a bad rap, and he is just better than Dallas has seen in a long time. But my favorite active player.
Let me just say, when you think about Tony Romo, you just think about that spin. You just see the guy coming for him, and you just think of the spin. And I don't know how he knew the guy was there, but he just knew somehow.
Blindside, spin out, throw the ball deep. Dez caught it. Oh, wait.
Joel, is your guy a Steeler?
No.
Did he play for the Cowboys?
No. Do you want me to give you a hint?
Offense or defense?
Offense.
Of course. I should have known. That was a dumb question.
Give a vague hint. Don't give it
Is it Joe Burrow?
No, it's not Joe Burrow.
Is he behind you?
No.
Ooh.
Okay.
Good question.
He plays in the same division as the Steelers.
Jaden Daniels.
What?
No, it's not Jaden Daniels.
Oh, wait, as the Steelers. See, this is why I should listen before I answer a question.
It's Derrick Henry.
It's Derrick Henry.
Is it? Oh, shoot!
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was just like, I'm going to go full confidence and then
It's
eat
Derrick
it
Henry.
when it's wrong. Nice.
I was going to say, I've talked about this guy like a billion times on this show, so.
I just thought it was because he was just literally the most dominant. So it's like, I mean, what am I supposed to do?
I mean, that's part of why he's my favorite player.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I have a current favorite, but I think I'm most excited to see Max Crosby play this year. I think that that guy, I mean, him and the Bosa brothers, I I love watching them play football. I love watching the things they can do, but I like Max Crosby's energy better. So I like watching him play a lot.
He does have some really good energy.
Dude looks like the mascot for the Raiders.
Yeah, just like Joe Flacco used to be the Raven.
Yeah. He looks more like the Raiders than the Raiders logo. I look at him like, you're a Raider, dude. It doesn't matter if you get traded, won't let you leave.
Right, Joe Flacco's a Brown, but he's still the Raven.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude.
Well, cool.
You caught me off guard with that question. I was not ready
Yeah,
for that.
I thought I might, but yeah, I knew Avery's answer the whole time. He didn't know it yet. But, yeah.
I just had to make sure. That was where my mind went. Then I'm like, wait, I've never really thought this through. But yeah.
All right. So now I have another question for Will. Actually,
Oh, no. All right.
do you feel like doxing someone today?
Sure, I'm in.
Okay. So last time you said that your coworker requested that we talk about Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
So who is your coworker?
Okay, I've got this sweet baby 19-year-old employee of mine. His name is Kirk Davis. I often call him Kirkland Signature. I also call him Lil Kirkin. All of this is true. He doesn't seem too fond of Kirkland Signature, so I don't call him that one too much. But in my head all the time. Yeah, he's a good little guy. I mean, he's not that little, but good little guy. Just because he's young. He makes me feel old because he's 19, and when I started where we work now, I was 21, so I was barely older than him, and now I'm 31, and it's like, oh my gosh, I've been there for so long. He was barely even born when I started working.
Oh, yeah. You're still, for a little bit longer, you're still just 31.
Yes, I am.
So you said it's Kirk?
Kirk, yes.
Kirkland Signature is his full name.
Allen
Okay.
Davis.
Okay. All right. Well, Kirk, we're excited that you're excited for us to talk about Trevor Lawrence. So let's get started. Will Trevor Lawrence finally live up to his potential this year?
No. All right, let's move on. Look, I don't think it's his fault, though. I'm sticking with the answer no, and I don't think it's his fault, right? He's on another new coach this year, right? Yeah, Liam Cohen is the coach this year. He had Urban Meyer and then Darrell Bevel, and then he had Doug Peterson, which everyone was way too excited for Doug Peterson. Oh, he won the Super Bowl with Philadelphia.
Nick Foles.
And now he's coming to Jacksonville. Listen, quality of team is just so different. Jacksonville just doesn't seem to give a hoot. It's not that they're not trying. I think they're trying. They just can't seem to put it together. Tom Coughlin, their most winning coach, 95 to 2002. And then since then, they have not had a coach with a winning win percentage since 2002. And they've had 9 coaches since then. Well, 8 if you don't count the one that hasn't started yet. Every single coach they've had has had a losing win percentage, besides Tom Coughlin.
You guys remember when Urban Meyer tried to get Tim Tebow to be a tight end?
Didn't try. He made him do it.
Yeah.
It didn't work, but he made him do it.
Failed miserably. Avery, do you have any thoughts on Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm with Will. No, I don't see him living up to expectations. One, because the expectations were already very high. So I think just based on that technicality, no, I don't think he's ever going to get there. I can see him having a few flashy standout seasons that keep the hype train alive. Not really rolling, but alive. To the point where you'll eventually go to his, stat sheet, for his career, and you'll look at it and you'll be like, why have we been talking about this guy for so long? He's only got, out of, 10 or 12 seasons, you'll look at it, he only had, 2, good seasons. Everything else was, just full of asterisks. Whether it's his receivers were hurt, or his offensive line got hurt, or this or that, and it's going to be a bunch of excuses. That being said, I'm a proponent of you can't judge the quarterback just on his own. There are too many other things involved. And so I see that as he's in a bad situation. He's in Jacksonville. The Browns are like McDonald's after Super Size Me, where it's they got crushed. Everyone was like, oh, they're the most unhealthy thing. Everyone was unhealthy. McDonald's just had a documentary made about them. It's the Browns are the butt of the joke, but the Jaguars are in the same boat. They just don't get talked about. They're not even important enough. It's like Alabama. I live in Alabama. Everyone has jokes about Alabama, but everyone in Alabama is just glad they don't live in Mississippi. No one talks about Mississippi. Jacksonville is Mississippi. And so I just feel like Will said, I don't feel like anyone else even cares over there. I just feel like there's not a lot of, I don't know, whether it's just the market, they just can't get themselves out of it, they can't sign free agents, whatever it is, just dysfunction. I just think if he doesn't leave there, I don't even think he'll get those flashy seasons.
Okay. Well, to go back to something that Will said, he mentioned the coaching. So they hired Liam Cohen this offseason, and they also brought in a guy by the name of Grant Udinski to be their offensive coordinator. If you guys aren't familiar with him, he was the assistant offensive coordinator and the assistant quarterbacks coach for the Minnesota Vikings last year. So he was part of a staff that helped Sam Darnold have one of the best seasons that he's ever had. And so, you look at Liam Cohen as well, he took Baker Mayfield to the next level. Baker Mayfield had never done anything close to what he had done last season. And so you have Liam Cohen, who did what he did with Baker Mayfield. You have Grant Udinski, who did what he did with the Vikings and Sam Darnold. Do you think that could change the way that Trevor Lawrence plays this season?
I mean, I think it has potential to, right? Obviously, you're different coaching in. Hopefully, you get the team to buy into the coaching. But it's the same thing that Marcus Mariota ran into in Tennessee. Just perpetual badness. And it was, 5 different offensive coordinators in 4 years, and it was just time after time. You change the system too many times. The guys that have been there for a long time are trying to learn another new playbook, another new offense, another new everything, and you just get burnt out on it, and you just can't be successful because you're overloaded with different information.
I just don't see a coach change doing much over there. From my point of view, I don't see a lot happening, at least not like record-wise or making the play. I mean, doing anything in the playoffs. Maybe they sneak in, but I don't think that coaching is going to change anything. I think it's more of a macro issue. I think part of it is just the Jaguars. I just never see them do anything. I don't feel like anything's ever really going to change. They'll get some stars on their team. They had that really good running back a while ago. Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of someone else. I was going to make a Ray Rice joke, but...
Think about Maurice Jones-Drew?
Yeah, that's who it was. But I was like, wait, no, that's the wrong guy. He didn't do that. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback, but I think that there's better quarterbacks, and I just think he's in a bad situation. I think it would take him getting out of there and then a coach and a team setup to kind of be built around Trevor Lawrence to take advantage of what he brings to the table to get his potential out.
If I may, real quick, this is an individual scout who wrote a scouting report on Trevor Lawrence coming into the 2021 NFL Draft. It reads, Lawrence is blessed with prototypical size, a strong right arm, and Pro Bowl caliber accuracy. He has the physical characteristics to step right in as a NFL starter. His underrated mobility, poison in the pocket, and uncanny ability to decipher defense are what cause him to stand apart in comparison to the elite quarterback prospects of recent years. It goes on, but it's more of the same. We as in Football America had this guy put on a pedestal from day one. I mean, it is the best prospect since, at that point, probably Andrew Luck. And we saw how that turned out. This is the best prospect since Peyton Manning. We haven't seen anybody this good in a long time. And we just put these guys on such a high pedestal and then get confused as to why they go to the worst possible teams with the worst records and then don't perform well. It's no wonder the Browns have had 17 million quarterbacks in the last 25 years. It's because you draft a quarterback and nothing else. You don't get anything. I'm sure this will come up later in this show here when we talk about fantasy football quarterbacks, but you don't have to go first-round quarterback talent. Jalen Hurts, recent Super Bowl winning quarterback, was a second or third rounder.
Second rounder, yeah.
You can find Tyler Shuck, second-round quarterback. All right? You can find...
Did you just say Tyler Shuck's going to be a good quarterback? Well, that was a terrible example.
I couldn't get that one out. Sorry, I was trying. But you can find, I mean, going back to Tony Romo, undrafted. You get all these guys who have talent. There are other positions that should probably be addressed early on in these teams. like offensive line, defensive line, somebody to stop the run and somebody to, stop people from attacking your quarterback. We just put too much stock into these first overall quarterbacks and early round quarterbacks, and then question why they never pan out.
Yeah, that's fair. I personally am somebody who does put a little bit of stock into the coaching, and I think it could potentially make a little bit of a difference for Trevor Lawrence this season. Because to go back to their offensive coordinator, Grant Udinski, again, he spent last season with the Vikings. He was the assistant offensive coordinator and the assistant quarterbacks coach, and nobody has ever been able to get that out of Sam Darnold before the Vikings did. The Vikings just have a way of doing it with quarterbacks, and maybe he can bring that over to the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. With Liam Cohen, he was only the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers for one season. But look what he was able to do with Baker Mayfield. And last season, the Bucs were the only offense that finished in the top 5 in yards per game, passing yards per game, rushing yards per game, and scoring. The only offense in the entire league. And it was the only offense in NFL history to complete 70% of their passes while averaging 5 yards per carry. Liam Cohen did an incredible job with the Buccaneers offense. I think he's going to bring some of that over to the Jaguars. I really do. If he can do that with Baker Mayfield, and if Grant Udinski can do what he did as part of that staff with Sam Darnold, I don't see any reason why they can't do it with Trevor Lawrence. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-pro quarterback, but I feel like he's going to take a step forward, and I feel like he's going to be a different version of Trevor Lawrence that we haven't seen this year. And also, I believe that this year is the best set of weapons that Trevor Lawrence has had in his entire career. He's got Brian Thomas Jr., he's got Travis Hunter. I know Brenton Strange is their tight end this year, but he's kind of an underrated, kind of more unknown guy. But he did play and start in 10 games last season because their starting tight end was hurt. And so he does have a little bit of starting experience. I think he's underrated, and I think he's going to do pretty well this year. To me, this is the best set of weapons that Trevor Lawrence has had. And to me, this is probably going to be the best coaching staff that he's had.
Let's not forget they also have young Patrick Herbert, brother of Justin Herbert, on their team. They picked him up not after the draft, the undrafted free agent pool. I would like to make an argument on that point, Joel. I worry that they're going to try to use Travis Hunter too much, and it's going to handicap their offense. I'm afraid they're going to try to use him too much on both sides of the ball, and he won't be able to perform. Because you can see it. I mean, you can watch highlights or lowlights, or whatever you want to call them, of Travis Hunter at Colorado, where he's just taking offensive plays off, or he's getting beat deep on defense because he's playing too much. And we've all said that he probably should stick to corner rather than receiver, because that's where they need more help. I'm afraid that he's not going to want to do that, because I do believe it was Jacksonville that sent out those 2 tweets. We have signed defensive back Travis Hunter, and we have signed wide receiver Travis Hunter. 2 separate tweets of he's going to do both. He's going to be that guy for us. But besides Brian Thomas Jr., who last year was his rookie season, and he was good last year. He put up, 1,100 yards last season, right? Something like that.
It was more than that.
Sure. Put up quite a bit of yards last year, and was great. He was a wonderful fantasy player. But after him, and we'll call it Travis Hunter, which is an unknown entity at this point, you don't have a lot. If Brian Thomas Jr. gets a non-contact injury, torn ACL out for the season, that team
don't say that.
Look, it can happen to anybody.
That's not nice.
Hey, it happened to Jalen Hurts or Joe Burrow or I don't want to curse the entire NFL, because that's not a fun product. But it can happen to anybody anytime, right? Like, if you can you never know. And if you are relying on one player and possibly a rookie who's going to be playing on both sides of the ball, we've already seen Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. They're fine, but then you obviously need more, and they don't have a great tight end. Brenton Strange, like you said, played a lot last year to fill in injury-wise, and he did fine, but he's not something to write home about, right? So I mean, he's not Kyle Pitts, that's for sure, so he's probably better than that. But I just worry that we're putting too much stock in too few of players. The coaching can do everything it can want to do, but as they say, it's not about the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmys and the Joes, right? It's about the players doing it, and not the coaches coaching it.
Can't you say that about a lot of teams, though?
Yes, absolutely.
Like, take Dallas.
If CD goes down, I was about to say that. If CD goes down, Dallas is going to win 0 games
I mean, I know they have George Pickens, and we don't know what he's going to be on the Cowboys yet with that whole dynamic. But, I mean, he was the number one in Pittsburgh. But before this year, if CeeDee Lamb was out of the game, there's no other weapons on that team.
Right.
I mean, you got Jake Ferguson, but he's a good tight end. But
they just signed him to a big deal.
They did. I feel like you can make that case for pretty much every team in the league.
For a lot of teams, yes. Yes, you are right. But we're not talking about the rest of the teams. We're talking about Trevor Lawrence and his play.
I think you guys are both right.
Yeah, we did it.
On all points. Both of you.
Oh, sweet. Way to lay down on that fence with an open mouth.
Well, do you guys have anything else to add about Trevor Lawrence going into this season?
He gets a big old red flag for me.
He has the same red flag that he's had the past couple seasons.
Except he's getting
I think he could do nominally better. Only a little bit better.
I think it's a red flag. He's getting a deeper red. Where as he gets older, isn't this the last year? Did he recently get re-signed?
Yeah.
Oh, how much longer is he there? I was hoping he'd try to get out.
No, he's signed through 2030.
I mean, good for him. Shout out Trevor Lawrence.
Rip.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah, he's getting paid.
They have a potential out after 2029. Good for them.
Potential out.
After 5 years, $202 million potential out. Oh, man. I mean, if I'm Trevor Lawrence, I could not be happier, right? Okay, I'm here for another, 5-6 years, and I'm going to keep making, what was that number I just saw? $7.5 million every single season on season start date, which is, I don't know, July something or early July. $7.5 million just for a signing bonus every single year. And his team option bonus goes up from 7 to 14 to 21 to 28, goes up by $7 million every year. Dude's making $14.5 million before he even plays one snap this year. Not a bad deal. I see why he signed it. And if I'm him, I'm just going to sit quietly back and go, you know what? If you don't want to sign anybody to play on this team, I still get paid either way.
I have one last thing to say about Trevor Lawrence, and it's mostly about the Jaguars, not Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. But since Trevor Lawrence has been there, the defenses have been terrible. I know that that's not a Trevor Lawrence thing, but you got to help out the quarterback. It's kind of the same thing with Joe Burrow. Like, the defense was just terrible. And when your defense is just terrible,
you lose
your
games.
Team's not gonna, you're going to lose. Yeah, you're going to lose games. And that gets put on the quarterback. So I think that's part of the problem. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence needs to step it up. He hasn't played the best. But when your defense is terrible and you lose, that falls on you as the quarterback.
Didn't he literally play the best? Like, didn't he have, the best, QB stats? I mean, maybe he didn't pull out some games because the defense made it insurmountable. But, I thought Burrow had, an MVP season.
Last year?
Yeah, Burrow did, yeah.
Oh, who did I say? Maybe I said something
Were you talking about Burrow or Lawrence?
I'm talking about Burrow. Yeah.
Yeah, Burrow had fantastic stats.
Yes.
But his defense was just so bad. And, because, I think that actually might be the one time that people give the quarterback a pass.
If you're if you're basically the best quarterback that year, and you look at the stats, you're like, Jesus, basically 4,800 yards, 45 touchdowns, 6 picks. Okay, yeah, it wasn't your fault.
I don't remember any other time where people weren't blaming the quarterback for the losses. And technically, they still had a winning season. They finished with a winning record. They just didn't make the playoffs.
Dude, that's rough. It's rough. It was rough to be a Bengals fan last year. I'm not one. I'm a Dallas fan. It was equally as rough.
But I had a dream about it one time, and it didn't go well.
To watch my team be that good offensively and that bad defensively, well, actually, that's pretty similar to being a Dallas fan, if we're being fair.
Dallas might have been worse, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even have the starting quarterback. It's not like the starting quarterback was in the whole season. Most of the season, it was Cooper Rush, so...
Dude, I love me some Cooper Rush. I'm sad that he's not in Dallas anymore. That was a player that did not re-sign. I was legitimately sad for.
But now we have Joe Milton.
Yeah, that I'm pretty happy about.
In his literally one game, he played well, and he's the best backup in the league now somehow.
Dude, that's the Matt Castle treatment.
Jimmy Garoppolo treatment.
And the Matt Flynn treatment.
Yeah.
Matt Flynn.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's a deep cut, boys.
Flynn.
Matt Flynn.
I remember that.
Seahawks signed him to a big deal and then drafted Russell Wilson and then started Russell Wilson instead of Matt Flynn. 3rd-round pick, Russell Wilson. See, here we go. Back to that whole quarterbacks don't have to come out of the first round.
I'm going to do an even deeper cut in a different sport. Johnny Flynn.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I do.
Timberwolves.
Will's like
three or four. Picked like 3 or 4 point guards. And there was like, they passed on like all the best ones and landed on Johnny Flynn. I think they passed on like Curry, Loss. I can't even remember, but they passed on some really good guards just to get Johnny Flynn.
Will's not a basketball guy, so he's like, I have no idea.
Even basketball guys don't know who he is unless they watch that one season that he was in the league.
All right, well, you guys ready to talk some fantasy football?
Let's do it.
All right. So we've got our lists of our top 10 fantasy quarterbacks this season. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to go around and we'll start at, we'll do 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, and so on. Will, why don't you get us started? Who is your number 1 fantasy quarterback this year?
Probably to no surprise, and I hope you boys have a similar guy here. I have Lamar Jackson.
I have Joe Burrow.
Oh, I have Josh Allen.
Ooh.
And, of course, it's stat-based. So let me tell you why.
It's stat-based. I'm Joel. It's stat-based.
Literally you.
All right. So since 2020, Josh Allen has been either first or second in fantasy points by quarterbacks every single year. And the reason I put him first is because last year he was second and Lamar Jackson was first. There has only been 2 quarterbacks since 2001 that have been number 1 in fantasy points in back-to-back years. Josh Allen did it in 2020 and 2021, and Dante Culpepper did it in 2003 and 2004.
Back when we were still playing fantasy football with paper and pencils.
Playing backyard football, dude.
Dante
TV
Culpepper.
ROM game.
So to me, that tells me that Josh Allen is going to be the number 1 quarterback and Lamar Jackson is not going to be the number 1 quarterback because he was the number 1 quarterback.
Or it could happen for a 3rd time.
Or that could happen, but there is a statistical possibility that it is likely not going to happen.
Dude, take your statistical possibilities and shove them up your keister. But yeah, actually it could happen.
So that's why I have Josh Allen as number 1. And if he's not going to be number 1, he should be number 2 because he's been 1 or 2 every year since 2020.
Yep.
All right, number 2. Who you got, Will?
I'm going to go with Joe Burrow. Because
Wait, I already said him.
Yeah, you did. I don't know. If his defense can pull their heads out of their butts, then I'm just going to leave more room. Because, well, see, but here's the thing. If their defense pulls their head out of their butts, he's not going to have
doesn't need to do as much.
He doesn't have to do as much.
Yeah.
Season. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. I don't know. I like what we did last year. They re-signed both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, got the boys hyped in the locker room again. They can't sign any defensive players. They did finally sign Shamar Stewart. Probably should talk about that.
No.
That
I don't want to talk
absolute
about it no more.
idiot. So
The language is still in the contract.
Yeah, and they're not going to sign Trey Hendrickson, and he's hopefully going to sit out. And then they've got one guy who had less sacks in his entire college career than Trey Hendrickson has in like 1 game in the NFL. So like whatever. So there's that. So anyway, Joe Burrow, I got him second.
I got Josh Allen, and I'm sure Joel will now statistically tell us why we're all wrong.
I have Lamar Jackson, and here's why. Because he was number 1 last year, and so he can't be number 1 this year. Statistically.
Statistically.
I hate you guys.
And who do you have, Joel?
I have Lamar Jackson at 2. I just feel like that Lamar Jackson had such a good season last year that he threw 41 touchdowns, and his rushing ability is always going to be there. It will always be there, but I think he's going to take a little bit of a step back in the passing touchdowns and passing yards category. And it's not that he's taking a step back as a quarterback. It's just that his season last year was just incredible, and he's still going to be up there. I think he's still going to have 30 plus passing touchdowns, but you still got Derrick Henry in the backfield. That's going to help him a ton. But last time he won MVP and he threw 36 touchdowns in 2019. The next season he had 26 touchdowns. Then the season after that, 16, then 17, then 24, and then 41 last year. So it's just not, he hasn't been consistently throwing 30 plus, 35 plus touchdowns. So that's why I didn't rank him number one. He's still going to be incredible in fantasy because, the rushing yards is just, that's what you want in a fantasy quarterback. But I just don't feel like he's going to have as many passing touchdowns as he did last year. And so that's why I didn't rank him one and I ranked him two.
It's very reasonable, Joel. It's very, very reasonable.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying something nice about me.
I love you wholeheartedly.
That was statistically sound. I appreciated it.
Everything I say is statistically sound.
That is probably true, and I can't unprove it.
It's statistically true for sure.
All right, number 3.
I have Josh Allen. Did I say his name?
I already said his name.
You
I
already
have
said his
Lamar
name.
Jackson.
You're both wrong.
Tell us what about Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
Just kidding. Wait, Avery, who do you have at 3?
I have Lamar Jackson.
Okay. I have Joe Burrow.
Okay, but see, here we are now. We have all listed the same 4 quarterbacks in the same 4 slots. They may be moved around a little bit.
Just 3. It's just 3.
Shoot.
It's just
Have we
those
not named
3.
4 quarterbacks?
We've named 9 quarterbacks. They all just happen to be the same 3 people.
You're right. And
Technically in the show, we've named 4 because we talked about Trevor Lawrence before. So
see, I win.
Yeah.
No, we've talked the same 3 quarterbacks in the top 3, just in different orders. So it really is a pick 'em, truly.
it really is. But your guys' ranking of Joe Burrow is totally fair. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of difference between 1, 2, and 3. But in the 3 seasons that Joe Burrow has been fully healthy, he's had a minimum of 4,475 passing yards and a minimum of 34 touchdown passes. So if he's healthy this year for the whole season, his numbers are going to be incredible regardless of how good or bad that defense is. Because he's had years where the defense was average, where the defense was terrible, and where the defense was pretty good. And in the season where he was fully healthy, he's been great every single year. The lowest that Joe Burrow has finished is, well, in a healthy season, I should say, that he's finished is 8th. And that was his 2nd year in the league. And then aside from that, he's been ranked 4th and 3rd. So in 2022, he was 4th. In 2024, he was the 3rd ranked quarterback. So he's going to be, as long as he's healthy, he's going to be right there in the top 5 easily. All right, Will, who you got it for?
I think this is going to get some hate, and I'm fine with it. I have Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh.
A lot of people have him ranked way lower. He has been, Joel, shout out you, statistically declining over the last 3 years. Right, 2022 he threw 5,200 yards, 41 touchdowns. 23 he threw for 4,100 yards, almost 4,200 yards, 27 touchdowns. And last year he threw for 3,900 yards with 26 touchdowns. He doesn't run the same as anybody. He doesn't run the same amount as the 3 guys we talked about already. I just think that the competition is getting tighter in the AFC, and they're going to have to play better to be better. With the Bengals, the Ravens, the Bills, I mean, we just named 3 AFC quarterbacks, right? Allen, Burrow, Jackson.
Yeah.
Now here we are, me naming a 4th AFC quarterback. And this guy has the most playoff and Super Bowl experience out of all of them. I just think that the competition in the AFC is getting tighter and higher, and we've talked about the AFC West quite a bit. I think it's not going to be as easy in the AFC West this year, and he's going to have to be better. If they want to win, they're going to have to be better. And so I think he's going to have a good year. I'd go right at number 4.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, the thing is with Patrick Mahomes is we've seen him throw 5,000 yards with not very good receivers.
Yeah.
We've seen him do it, but we've also seen him be not very good with not very good receivers. And so you could get both, honestly.
Right.
I've got Jalen Hurts.
I have Jalen Hurts as well at 4.
I'll let Joel explain my reasoning. He'll do a better job than I will. Tell him, Joel. Tell him why we're right.
Since 2021, Jalen Hurts has had at least 600 rushing yards and 10 rushing touchdowns every single year.
See?
Last year, he ranked 8th in total points, but he did miss 2 games. So if you look at his points per game, he was the 5th quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
So Yeah, that's exactly what you had written down, right, Avery?
That's a word for word, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, his passing stats weren't as good last year, but I just think, one, because he missed those 2 games, and 2, because it was just so heavy on Saquon Barkley. But his rushing stats are always going to be there, so you can always rely on his rushing stats.
That tush push.
All right,
1 yard at a
5.
time. Now, because he was the 5th quarterback last year, I have him as the 5th quarterback this year.
Oh, symmetry.
That's statistically sound right there.
Thank you. No, I really debated whether to put him 4 or 5 with him and Mahomes.
Are we talking about Hurts?
Yeah, we're talking about Hurts. Jalen Hurts is who I have at number 5. I think that simply because of what he showed at the Super Bowl, that team, he showed to the world, okay, fine, stop Saquon Barkley. See if we give a hoot. I'll just throw the ball all over the place, and I'll run the ball all over the place, and I'll just do it myself. And if the Madden curse does come true, hopefully not, and Saquon Barkley has a down year in one way or another, then they're going to have to rely more on Jalen Hurts, and I think it's going to be beneficial for him.
All right. Avery, who do you have at 5?
I've got Jaden Daniels. Where do you have him?
I have Jaden Daniels at 6.
Ooh, I'm right this time.
Ooh.
Wait, who do you have at 5?
I have Baker Mayfield.
Okay. But you're a big Baker fan.
Well, at that point, Joel, give us the comparison between Baker Mayfield and Jaden Daniels. Why do you put Baker ahead of Jaden?
Okay. So, last year, Baker Mayfield finished 4th in points. He threw 4,500 passing yards.
Fantasy points or NFL scoring points?
Fantasy points.
Okay, thank you.
We're talking about fantasy football.
Yeah.
Yes. So last year he finished 4th in fantasy points. He threw for over 4,500 passing yards. He threw 41 touchdowns. He also added 378 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. So he has a little bit of that rushing ability. It's not, it's not on the same level as Lamar Jackson or Jaden Daniels, but he does have a little bit of that ability to get you some rushing yards. And this offense is just loaded. You've got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Emeka Egbuka, Tez Johnson, Cade Otton. Your running backs are Bucky Irving and Rashad White, who are both very good runners and receivers. That offense is stacked. I think they're going to be just the same as they were last year, if not better, on the offensive side. And so I think Baker Mayfield's going to get a ton of touchdown passes. I think he's going to add some on the ground as well. And the reason I have him at 5 and Jaden Daniels at 6 is because I know Jaden Daniels is going to have his rushing stats. That's always going to be there. But my concern is his passing stats. And it's not because he's not a good passer. It's because Terry McLaurin is holding out. And so, with this holdout that Terry McLaurin has, he's not practicing. And who knows what he's actually doing when he's at the facility now. It's technically a hold-in now, but he's still not practicing. And so the longer that goes on, the less ready Terry McLaurin is going to be. And we've seen in the past where receivers hold out and then they get in the game in the regular season and they get hurt, or they're just not as good for the first 4 or 5, whatever amount of games. And so that worries me because Deebo Samuel is going to be your number 1 receiver. We all know how I feel about Deebo Samuel. Like, I don't like Deebo Samuel as a number 1 receiver. He's not a number 1 receiver, in my opinion. So without Terry McLaurin, I worry about Jaden Daniels and his passing stats. His rushing stats, fine. But his passing stats, I don't think they're going to be as good if Terry McLaurin's not there.
I concur.
So with that being said, who do you guys have at 6?
I have Jaden Daniels at 6. I fear heavily of a sophomore slump. We've seen it time and time and time again. Saw with C.J. Stroud last year. And this whole, as you mentioned, Terry McLaurin thing, his go-to guy not being there in the offseason does not help him at all. He's got a year under his belt, and now people have the film on him. They know his tendencies. They know they know everything about him. They know what he likes to sleep in, everything. And so it's not going to be as easy, especially when you don't have your number 1 guy. So I've got him at number 6.
I've got Mayfield.
Oh, so we weren't that far off.
No.
I feel like Avery's just changing his list to be right.
I was already wrong.
All right. Who's your guys' 7th ranked fantasy quarterback this year?
Bo Nix.
That's what
I have.
Yeah, we did it!
We got one.
We did it, guys!
Does anybody have any specific reasoning as to why that is?
He's my favorite player. Get out of here.
Dude's good. Team's good.
He throws
They're
the ball,
gonna
man.
be good. He plays in the Mile High
Look,
Stadium.
if people are willing to pay him millions of dollars to throw a ball, he probably knows how to throw the ball. That's why I have him at 7.
All right. Well, yeah, Will, you missed this when we went on the hop with Thomas Tyree, but we talked about this. Avery and I both had the Denver Broncos as our 5th ranked team in our power rankings, in our top 5 power rankings.
Oh, wow.
We both did. And no, we did not plan that. It just happened by surprise. But the reason that I put the Denver Broncos at number 5 is because of their offensive line and because they're returning all 5 starters from last year. Last year, they ranked first in both pass block and run block win rate, and they gave up the 3rd least amount of sacks with 24, which is one of the biggest reasons why Bo Nix had such a great year as a rookie. And I know his weapons aren't great. People, kind of that's the thing that they say that's, not the best about this offense, but it doesn't matter as much when their offensive line is so good. So right. Even though he doesn't have the best weapons, he has one of the best offensive lines. And that's why I think he's going to have another really good season, and he's not going to have a sophomore slump because that offensive line is very good. They also signed Evan Ingram as their tight end. And last year, their top tight end had 188 receiving yards the whole season. So you add Evan Ingram into that offense, you're getting a big upgrade at tight end for Bo Nix because he got pretty much nothing from his tight ends last year. So that's only going to help him. So that's why I have him at 7.
They still have, not that they're necessarily looking, but I don't see why they wouldn't be. They still have Amari Cooper still available, Keenan Allen still available. But there's some decent names here who aren't going to come in and be absolute all-stars, but can definitely get you 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. So they've got options if they need them.
All right. Who's your 8th ranked fantasy quarterback?
Sorry, guys. This is where I have Baker Mayfield.
I have Jared Goff.
I have Jared Goff too.
No way.
Yeah. Sorry, Will. You suck.
Yeah, get wrecked, Will. Little baby man.
Why do you have Baker Mayfield at 8, Will?
Because I should have ranked him higher, but I forgot he existed, and then I ranked him there. I remember this name.
Fair enough.
Trying to be a contrarian here. Just trying to be different. Break the mold. No, I don't know. There is every reason he should be ranked higher. I just don't think of him the same way. He's never in my top 5 thought about quarterbacks. He's never a guy that I'm like, oh, you know who I can't wait to see play? Or if the Buccaneers were coming to town, if I had a football team near me, I wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, I should go watch Baker Mayfield play. He's not a guy that I think of regularly, which is not fair to him. He's great. He's a good energy. He's great on the field. He's fun to watch play, and he throws the ball very well. I just often forget about him, which is why I have him ranked in number 8.
I'm actually with Will here. I'll be honest. I haven't heard really anything. Granted, I've been kind of unplugged from it. I haven't heard anything about him at Tampa Bay. The last thing I really remember is all the drama in Cleveland. And then when I saw that he's in Tampa and actually doing well, it was surprising to me.
I hear about him all the time because he's my 3rd favorite player in the NFL. So, what were you gonna say?
Me too.
Wasn't he recently in an interview where they asked him
with the Kelseys?
Yeah, with the Browns to do a quarterback. He said it's not my problem anymore.
Yep, I actually just watched that video today.
Yeah.
What is this? Give me a rundown.
He was on the New Heights podcast. And the Kelsey brothers asked what the Browns do with their quarterback situation, and he said something along the lines of, oh, it's not my problem anymore.
Yeah, that sounds like a man who's just glad to be out of there.
Okay, who do you guys have as your 9th ranked quarterback in fantasy this year?
I'm going to continue to get hate. I have Justin Herbert.
I don't hate that.
I don't hate it. I don't have him at 9, but I don't hate it. Who do you have, Avery?
I have Kyler Murray.
I have Kyler Murray too.
Listen here. Listen.
Statistically, I'm right over you, Will. Joel said
listen.
My list is better.
Listen.
He's the same as a trusted source, okay?
Listen, Kyler Murray.
He's going to be a disappointment.
He's going to be a disappointment. He's a disappointment every year. He's the Kyle Pitts of quarterbacks. You expect him to do well, and then he just does okay.
I have him on my list here, but I will say this. I think Kyler Murray and Justin Herbert are in the same boat. I think both of them have massive potential and will severely underperform.
Yes.
Just as Justin Herbert did for me last year.
Yeah. I just don't have Herbert in my top 10 because I just think that offense is just going to be so run heavy that he's not going to put up like big numbers. Not that he's not going to be good, but I just don't have him in my top 10 just because of that. But Kyler Murray, I have in my top 10 because of his rushing stats. I mean, when he's healthy, he's going to have rushing stats.
Dude, so, he runs like a child with a full diaper.
He does, but that doesn't mean anything for fantasy.
Yeah, it's so stinky he gets away from everybody.
I also think that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to take a big step forward this year. And Kyler Murray is somehow going to learn how to see over his offensive line. And
I was going to say, I'm sure Nike is developing platform cleats for him to give him an extra 4 inches of height.
That might cut down on the rushing stats a little bit, though.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Who do you guys have at 10?
I hate my number 10 pick. Can you guess? I hate it.
Is it Brock?
No, of course not. It's Dakota Rain Prescott.
Oh, okay.
Look, he has...
That's not bad.
He has all of the potential in the world to do well. He's got George Pickens. He's got CD. They have Dak Prescott. He has the potential to do it. They just won't do it, right? I expect 5 wins out of this team. This is going to be a real Bengals of last year with a worse offense. I expect 38, maybe 4,000 yards out of Dak Prescott. 25 to 30 touchdowns, 25 to 30 interceptions, and it's just going to be sad. It's going to end up as a sad season.
I love the confidence in your quarterback, Will.
Well, no one else. That's my boy. Throw the forwards up.
One thing you can count on with Dak Prescott, he'll always find a way to get you less points than you're expecting because he will throw an interception at some point during the last part of the game. He will.
Yes, he will.
So if you're winning by 2, don't expect to be winning by 2 at the end of the game if you have Dak Prescott.
Truth. Take him out if you can. Sit him. Mid-game, sit him.
Avery, who do you have at 10?
I was going to go with Aaron Rodgers. And then the boring adult Avery made the executive decision to go with Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't even realize you hadn't said his name.
What? He hasn't.
You didn't realize I knew how to say his name?
No, I didn't realize you hadn't. You had not yet said his name.
Yeah. But I think just because I just feel like something's going to happen to Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think he's like as if I was drafting and there was Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, I'd probably pick Patrick Mahomes if it came down to those two guys. But I think that there is the potential. So, I don't know. I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers. Patrick, you can get bent. Aaron Rodgers. Hey, Ron.
Switcheroonie.
Him and DK Metcalf. And Jonnu are going to have a nice season. All right. I think my 10th ranked quarterback, I don't think people are going to like very much.
Good. Give it to me, Daddy.
Is it going to be Purdy?
No, it's not Purdy.
Wait.
Think it is?
I think it is.
It's Tua.
No.
It's gonna be. Oh shoot! I know.
Nope.
It's in the NFC North.
Yep.
Justin Fields. No.
What?
No.
Wrong guy. Wait.
It's between 2. I know it's between 2. I know it's between Jordan Love and Caleb Williams. It's one of those two. Guarantee it.
I meant to say Caleb Williams.
What's your final answer?
Wait. You go Jordan Love, I'll go Caleb Williams, so one of us is right.
Okay, well I think it's Caleb Williams. So
okay, Jordan Love.
Okay.
It's Caleb Williams.
You're right.
I gave 2 answers, but I'm like, I already know which one. I don't...
Yeah, I have Caleb Williams as my 10th ranked quarterback, and that might be a little bit controversial. But the reason I have him at 10 is because just a little bit. The reason I have him at 10 is because he was 7th among quarterbacks in rushing yards last season. But he was the only quarterback who rushed for more than 250 yards who didn't have a rushing touchdown. I feel like that has to change. Like, if you have almost 500 yards rushing and you don't have a rushing touchdown, that's kind of like an anomaly, I feel like. I feel like he's going to improve in that area with his rushing yards. The rushing yards are great. I'll take 500 rushing yards from a fantasy quarterback any season. But I just feel like after not having any rushing touchdowns last year, he's going to add some rushing touchdowns this year and improve his game in that area a little bit. I also feel like with Ben Johnson, he's doing everything he can to recreate that offense he had with the Lions. And so you can see it with the moves he's made. The offensive line is supposed to be better. Their wide receiver room, they've made some moves to improve at wide receiver and tight end. I just feel like that Ben Johnson is going to help Caleb Williams to be a better quarterback than he was last year. And I feel like his stats are going to improve both as a passer and as a runner. He's going to have rushing touchdowns, and I think he's going to throw for over 4,000 yards. The touchdowns, I haven't really decided how many touchdowns I think he's going to throw. I mean, I would say 25 as kind of like just to be safe. Maybe he could get above 30, but I'd say 25 just to be safe. But I think he's just going to improve all around as a player, and that's why I put him at 10.
He had, out of the quarterbacks who played 17 games last season, he had the second lowest fantasy points. But that's a very small number of quarterbacks that played all 17 games.
Yeah. If you look at the points per game, it comes up with players who had like one game, and Joe Milton and stuff are on there. They're ranked in like the top 10 or something like that, but they only played one game, so it doesn't count. All right. Well, that's our top 10. So to end here, let's just give one sleeper quarterback that we all have.
One?
Just one.
Okay. Who's going first? Me. Thank you. All right. I've got Avery.
I know mine.
I have Tua. I can't possibly sit on this show and say he's going to be the next ringless quarterback to win a Super Bowl and not then pick him progressively throughout the season. They have all the pieces. They just have to have a healthy Tua. And when Tua is healthy, there's no one better. Not no one. There's almost no one better. I mean, if he can be healthy for all 17 games, sign him up, right? When he's in, he's on. He's worth a late round fantasy pick to put him on your bench because you don't know if he's going to be playing or not. I would say draft a much safer pick as well. But I love Tua. I love the way he does in fantasy. I love the numbers he puts up when he's in. He's just not consistently in.
You know, between Tua and Jalen Hurts, I know who Nick Saban would pick. All right, I got my player. It's a player that none of y'all like and none of y'all believe in. Will Howard.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm the only one who believes it. No,
yeah, I hate that guy.
But Aaron Rodgers is your number 10.
Somehow they'll make it work somehow.
Yeah. You have that safety pick.
I am really excited for Russell Wilson to get hurt so Jackson Dart can come in and show us what's what.
I like that workaround there.
Yeah.
For Aaron Rodgers to Will Howard, then Russell Wilson to Jackson Dart. I like it.
I just hit all the names I wanted to.
Okay. When do you think Jackson Dart's going to come in and start?
Depends on if we got like a Tanya Harding situation or we just have to let things just play out naturally. Probably like week 3.
Okay. My sleeper quarterback is actually going to be a quarterback we already talked about. It is Trevor Lawrence.
Dude, we spent the first half of this show taking a shit on that guy. And now you're here boosting him back up. No, sir, let me wipe that off for you. I'm so sorry.
Hey, I was the one who was saying that he's going to have a better season because of his coaching staff.
Oh, you're right. That was just me talking bad about him. Oh, yeah, I'll take the blame here.
Yes. I just think he's going to be better because I think his coaches are going to help him. I think this is the best set of receivers and weapons that he's had since he's been in the league. And so I think obviously I don't have him in my top 10, but I think he's a sleeper quarterback. I think he's going to have a nice season. And so if you're looking for You could maybe start him. I think if you're looking definitely as a backup quarterback, if you're looking for a solid backup fantasy quarterback, I think you go Trevor Lawrence because I think he's going to improve and be better than he's been in seasons past.
Oh, guys, you said the thing, and I have to tell you something fantasy-wise because we're about to be on the same. We're about to co-run a fantasy team together. I don't believe in backup quarterbacks on my fantasy roster.
Just pick them up when you need them.
I think it's a waste of a roster spot.
I think if you pick it, your very last pick.
Stop giving away our strategy, Will.
I won't.
Because every other team is looking for little tidbits of information to get an edge on us because we're so threatening.
Yeah. You're right. Trevor will be fine enough this year. He will be the guy that I will pick up on anybody's bye week. Oh, Trevor's still here. I'll take him. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for our top 10 fantasy quarterbacks for this season. The next week, we're going to be talking about the running backs and wide receivers. So we're going to have top 10 lists for both the running backs and wide receivers next week. So stay tuned for that. And as always, don't forget to keep your balls played with. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Also, Mark Davis's haircut still sucks.